Number 6, Georgia with a decisive 34-17 win over Kentucky. So Georgia wins the SEC East Championship for the second year in a row. Really a great accomplishment. The last time Georgia did that was 2011-12. Obviously, they did that in 2002 and 3. So it's not like it's a common thing. And, the Gators won it 2 years in a row in 15-16. But then, of course, Georgia's the only one in the East to win it this about last 12 years or so. Dominating efforts for Georgia. Benny Snell ran 17 times, I think, in the first half. He had 20 total rushes. They ran him into the ground. They did what they could do with him. He only averaged 3.7 yards. I mean, globally, you look at this, 331 rushing yards for Georgia. I mean, they whipped them. They whipped their ass, man. 331 to 84. That ain't close. And the 226 passing for Kentucky was really more about Georgia playing prevent, whether it was just at the end of the game. Kirby's right that Georgia needs to capitalize completely on more situations. I mean, against the Gators, they've left 4 points on the field. Against Kentucky, they're leaving 4 points on the field here and there. You had those 2 fumbles. So maybe this was the fumble game for Georgia. They did score 5 of 5 in red zone. I mean, they're clearly the best team in the East. They will probably move it up to number 5. Michigan certainly made a statement today. I wonder what James Franklin's post-game was like. I bet that was fun. But, yeah, Monty Rice, Ledbetter played well, man. 6 total tackles with a sack, 2 of them tackled for losses. You look at Kentucky, this might be their best shot. Maybe they'll be one of the better teams from here out. The Gators lose today. So they lost to Missouri. Oh, bad. It was bad. Yeah, I'm surprised it's bad, but that's not surprising that they lost. I talked about that for a while, that they could fall on their face. So if you're Kentucky, you're looking very squarely at the Peach Bowl. If you're Georgia, you're looking very squarely at the playoff. These guys are surging. They're not playing as well as Clemson offensively. They're not playing the teams Clemson is playing. They are playing well in a way that LSU is playing well. Michigan is on fire. We'll see what happens with Notre Dame. We'll see what happens with LSU, Alabama. We don't know the outcome of those games. But Georgia's playing well, and it will come down to Atlanta. I mean, the loss in Baton Rouge was the reason why you're in this situation. Probably, if you got there, it's looking like maybe you would have had to win it anyway, because of Notre Dame and their situation. But, Clemson is looking better and better. They're picking it up. They're playing teams that Louisville is bad. Some of the teams in the ACC are really bad, and I don't mean that disrespectfully towards Clemson. Clemson can play with anybody, but the teams they're playing are straight up bad. So this is looking like, for sure, a Sugar Bowl type season, maybe at worst a Peach Bowl type season for Georgia, but it could be a national championship season. This team can win the national championship. Nobody's putting money on them winning a national championship. Nobody's putting money on them beating Alabama, because those 2 things will probably have to happen. If you're going to win the national championship, you're going to have to beat Alabama. I don't fall into the camp ever of something can't happen in sports. I don't like that. I feel like it's by nature, it is negative. It's not what you want. If Georgia plays like they did tonight against one of the better is Kentucky's defense better than Alabama's? Okay, Matt says no. Okay, fine. Well, they did a number on a really good defense, a top 10 defense. So you got to play that way. And it was back to Georgia bully football. Jake Fromm only doing what he has to do, 113 yards. Just the quarterbacks played great tonight. I mean, I know that Justin had 6 carries for 27 yards, but he played well. Jake Fromm played well, 14 for 20 with a touchdown. Holloman is playing great. I mean, this is a diverse team that probably would be an underdog to Alabama, maybe to Clemson. Clemson's playing better, so that's harder to know. Maybe to Michigan. I don't know. I don't think they'd be an underdog to Notre Dame. Maybe they wouldn't be an underdog to Clemson. Maybe they wouldn't be an underdog to Michigan. They can beat all those teams. I know that. I watched the games. Part of what's going on is the biggest Big Ten East is a train wreck. It's just not good. Did Ohio State beat Nebraska?
By 3.
Okay, so it's just not a great division. This is probably the best division in sport the sport right now. I mean, you look at South Carolina winning again today, another win over a Western school for the East. You can't whitewash away what happened in Baton Rouge. It happened. That puts you in the situation that you're in. It didn't change anything. This is about winning the conference championship and taking it from there. But I will say this. I'll say this about this game. You can see a lot of young guys playing now. This is them winning the division with a young team, not with an elderly team like they had last year. Last year they should have won it for sure, just based off of talent, experience, all that stuff. This year they should have won it on talent, not experience. But they are, this is going to be a very good team next year and the year after that. Alabama is by far and away the best team in the country. What you want to do if you're Georgia, well, you'd rather play LSU, but what you want to do is line it up with Alabama, see where you're at. Go win the game if you can win it. If you lose it, let's just see how far away Georgia is. Is it 30 points or is it 3? Or are they 3 points better? Let's just see what happens. And I think that they have earned the right to play that game now. So because of their just blistering, probably too hard, just a thorough beating of Kentucky, though, 34-17. Dean Legge wrapping up here at Commonwealth Stadium. And make sure to go to visit Dog Post, $1 for a month. Please take advantage of that while we've got it going on.